So I'm trying to get the camera as far back as possible because the closer it gets to my face, the more the more I just can't look at the screen. My face is too harsh looking. Anyway, it's a very rainy day today because the rainy season has begun. My voice is like super dry because I drink too much coffee and I think it dries my throat. I don't know. But anyway, moving on with what I want to talk about, which is part 2 of my trip to Okinawa. So this is day 2. And on day 2, I took this wonderful walk along the beach by the hotel. So the beach is quite long, but it's actually very short beach. And what I mean by short sounds contradictory. I'll try and explain. Is that the distance from like where the beach begins to the sea is really short. But anyway, I took this wonderful walk along the beach and I saw some really nice things. Yeah, when you do these things, sometimes you're like, what do I do with my hands? Anyway, moving on. So I got to the end of the beach and of course I was looking for subjects to paint, and I saw, it was very beautiful what I saw. There was something very like now looking at the video footage, the scenery is beautiful and there's something very crisp and pure. That's the impression I get. And part of me thinks, Gareth, surely you can make a nice painting from what you're seeing here, but maybe it's from years and years of like traveling into the Japanese countryside, looking for scenes to paint, trying to paint scenes and failing, that eventually I developed something of an ability to know when something is a scene is going to turn into a good painting, and to know when it's not. And I could talk about that a lot, but I don't want to ramble. But the scenes that you are looking at here, I think I can make a good painting, but a painting that is really good and that actually moves me, that I feel this, wow, I can feel something. I wasn't getting that, or that feeling, or a painting or a scene that would actually be really interesting to paint. So nothing I saw, although it looked, a lot of stuff that I saw looked nice, nothing I saw really gave me that kind of feeling. So anyway, I got to the end of the beach and there was this outcrop of rock or whatever, and at the end of it was a fisherman, and it looked really nice, and I thought maybe this could be a good painting. And perhaps if the sky had been more interesting, but my final decision, I think, was that it just wasn't, there just wasn't enough there to make a really good painting. And so I think I saved a lot of time and energy not trying to do a painting of that scene. And I came back to the hotel, and then I was on the 8th balcony coming back to the hotel room, and I was looking from the balcony across the road at this quite horrible concrete I don't know what you'd call it. You don't want to say concrete village, right? It sounds a bit like a contradiction, right? A concrete village. But it was like a concrete village. And it looked awful. In fact, the buildings in Okinawa, the hotel building was actually quite nice. But a lot of the buildings in Okinawa really made my heart sink when I looked at them. I just felt this deadness when I looked at them. But then something magical happened, thank goodness, because the sun was shining, but suddenly this rain came. It literally came towards me as I was looking from the balcony, and it completely transformed this scene. It was magical, and this really drab, very ugly concrete village became transformed into this, I can't explain it very well. Hopefully the more videos I make, the better I will get at explaining things. We'll see. But the rooftops all became lit up, and they became like these beautiful abstract shapes, and the sunlight was catching the raindrops, so you also got this beautiful sparkle in the air, and it just looked amazing. So I had a go at trying to paint that, and here is the painting. And I just love these dramatic shafts of light. I love these shapes. They're rooftops, yeah, but they're just beautiful shapes as well, abstract shapes. And like I said, I love this these glittery raindrops that the sunlight was hitting. And I really like this big chunky truck here at the bottom. Like, normally I hate these trucks. I see them as like things that are basically just destroying Japan, you know. they're like always like destroying the mountains and taking the rocks and filling these things up, and then making ugly concrete buildings like this. But you know, as an artist, I've just had to learn to adapt and try and make the best out of what I see, and try and make something beautiful out of it. And I really love this grass here. Just these lines, and there's just, yeah, I'm not explaining it very well, but there was just things that I really liked in this scene, and so that's what I did. And so that was day 2 of my trip to Okinawa. Not looking very smart here. So anyway, it's early in the morning. I'm a bit like in a slobby state at the moment, but I think it's best just to be authentic. But anyway, it was I was delighted to see this scene. And the truth is, like, as I was standing on the balcony, the sun coming directly towards me, this amazing glowing sky, this rain like a veil, a shimmery gold veil coming towards me. It was just so beautiful. So the truth is, I couldn't capture that in my painting. I did do a good painting, yeah, and I'm happy with my painting, but the truth is I couldn't capture that amazing beauty. But anyway, just sharing what happened. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back again soon with part 3. Bye for now. Oh, and I always forget to do this. I sell prints of my paintings, and I also do private teaching, and there are links in the description box. So bye for now.